Hi. Welcome to the Maybelle and Guavi cooking show, where we show you how to cook gluten-free, soy-free, egg-free, dairy-free meals. Real things that we cook in our real kitchen every day, and this is real life. It's not a cooking show where everything's pre-made, and I'm going to show you at the end. You're really going along with us, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but we'll show you what we did to correct it or how we changed the recipe to make it work for our diets. And the kitchen may be a mess, and that's just how it is. So join us, come along with us.
And our background is...
And our background's the light. We got to get a better thing here, but we're just starting out. So join us as we work through our meals, and you can come along with us, and hopefully we teach each other something along the way. So welcome. Thanks for joining us. Today we're making tortillas, gluten-free tortillas. This recipe we've never used before, but we're using gluten-free on a shoestring, and let's see how it goes. Okay, first we need gluten-free flour. We like Bob's Red Mill, and we need 1.5 cups. Here's a cup right there. They always say you're supposed to like spoon it into this measuring cup. I don't do that. I just kind of pour it because who has time to do spoonfuls at a time? Oh, that's okay. Maybe we'll pour a little back in here. If you're looking for the perfect baker, this isn't your show. Okay. That's about a cup, isn't it? There you go. That'll work. Yep. Maybe we need to. It's our first ever video, so we'll. Yeah. There, that's better. Now you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got the flour. This Bob's Red Mill already has xanthan gum in it. If it doesn't have it, you need to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. But we use this one, and that already has it in it, so you can skip that. Okay. Now, she says 5/8, which I don't have that. So we have 1/4 cups. So we're going to do 5/8 cup of tapioca flour, plus we'll need a little bit more later, but we're going to do 2 whole cups of that.
Okay.
Don't wear your nice dress clothes if you're doing this. It gets all over.
Yeah, I'm just wearing my jammies. I forgot about that. I guess they're so cool that I can't even feel that.
Yeah. Okay. Pour that in there. So that would be a half. If I'm doing my math right, I just need a half more of a 1/4 cup. So if I estimate a half, nobody needs to be precise here. It's about a half, so we're going to pour that in. Okay. Baking powder. We need 1.5 teaspoons. So here's a teaspoon. Do you know how to do this?
Kind of. Okay. Wait, yeah. You scoop it and then you...
Yep, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. And pour it in. And then we need to find a 1/2 teaspoon on this ring.
On this ring. Yep. I don't know what that looks like.
Okay. 1/2. There. See, this is one over with this.
So this. Okay.
That one. Okay, that's 1.5. Pour that in. Perfect. And then we need a big teaspoon. So that get the big teaspoon.
The big one.
Not
that one
big
on the floor.
So
oh, I
this one
know what you mean.
Tablespoons.
That's
This
a
is
tablespoon. So you want
this
the
one
one.
is teaspoon. TSP. Yep. So 1 teaspoon of salt. We're using
Sea salt.
Morton's sea salt, which
We always buy them Morton's
we do.
brand.
Well, it's the cheapest.
Oh. Well, it tastes good too.
Oh, don't dump that. We're out of that one, so we have one more.
Can I open them? I like to open them.
Sorry, it's already open.
Oh. You've already used it.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Dump it in. Okay, now we need a fork. Can you get a fork?
A fork,
and you can
yeah.
stir that up.
You only have forks left, luckily.
Luckily,
Forks
this
and
is-
knives.
Can you stir that?
Like with a fork? How are you
With a
supposed to stir a powder?
I'll show you why here in a second.
Because we're going to crush it.
Okay, so now she calls for 4 tablespoons of coconut oil.
We can't have
and this
coconut.
is, yeah, it's the coconut that's in the solid form. But we can't have coconut, so instead we're going to try using all vegetable shortening by Spectrum. And this is all palm fruit oil. So works good for frosting if you ever make frosting. So we're going to try it.
Yeah,
and
but
this
then
and see
it
if
also
works.
doesn't taste, it doesn't have very much of a taste, so you don't get like the taste of it.
Yeah, so I think this will work good. We're experimenting here, so
Yeah.
we'll let you know whether it works out or not. And this is more of a finger thing. Okay, so 4 tablespoons, so that's 1.
Can I just
Yeah.
mix?
So what you're gonna do is crush it up with your fork, and we wanna make little tiny pea-sized balls of dough.
Okay.
Do you wanna get a chair?
Yeah, sure.
That'd be a little easier.
They can't really see my face, though. That's
Let's
fine.
get your face up there where they can see it.
Ah.
Cute little face of yours.
Ugh.
Okay, that's 4, I think.
Okay.
So you're going to kind of mix it together with all that flour, and that's our goal, is to get little tiny pea-sized.
Well,
We want it to be kind of crumbly.
like it already is. Kind of. It's more of a powdery right now.
Yeah, we want a little bit more.
I don't know.
I think it's going to work. Can you
Yeah, I
see it?
think it's gonna work.
Let's clean some off the spoon.
You called it a spoon.
Oh,
It's a fork.
that's right. Where did all those little crumbs go?
Okay, now Mom, you have to say everything right because they're watching and you don't want them to use the wrong utensil.
That's true.
Or-
Gotta. Oh yeah, this is getting perfect. Our water. In the meantime, I heated up our warm water,
You did? I
and
didn't know that.
I put it in for 30 seconds. We have 3/4 of a cup of warm water, and I put it in for 30 seconds, which turns out to be too long, so don't do that. Maybe try 15 seconds. But what we're going to do is, once we get this all...
Whoa.
See if I can show you here, but without making a mess. See, it's all mixed together and it's kind of a little bit crumbly. You're going to try to make a little well in the middle of your bowl. See that hole? And that's what you're going to pour the warm water in. Let's see where we are at. think we're at 101, I think. Somehow it's getting hotter than colder.
That's weird.
Ice cube in there.
Well, an ice cube is going to make it more water. It's fine. Oh, I love when you like first put it in and the ice cube like crackles. It's hot, so.
It's coming down. 95, 94, 93.
Whoa.
92. I'm going to pull it out now. Possibly. They're a little bit slippery. Okay, so I don't know how perfect you have to get this. Oh my goodness. This is 80 degrees now. Okay, let's try this again. Let's do 10 seconds.
Yeah. How do you do 10 seconds?
If you press time cook, you can type in whatever.
Oh!
91. That'll work. That's perfect. Okay, so pour that in.
Oh, that doesn't. Okay, right in the well.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
And maybe leave a little bit at the end. Pour a little bit more. When I'm making tortillas, I've never made this recipe, but I've made some other gluten-free and regular tortillas, and I like to not use all the water because sometimes I don't need it all, and then I end up having to add more flour. So I like to pour in just almost all of it, but not quite, and just save it. And after I stir, then I can pour a little bit more in. And this one I need a little bit more.
And
I need it till it forms into a ball. So
like,
this is a little bit too crumbly. A little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe like half that.
Half that is more.
There.
There. That was a lot.
Perfect.
We have this much water left. Can I hold it straight? Until it's kind of like Play-Doh kind of textured.
Mm-hmm.
Except
What do you think? Should we get a little bit more? Or is that going to form into a ball?
I think that would be good. Then you're going to have to touch it. So make sure before this you washed your hands.
That's true.
I didn't. I'm going to go wash my hands.
Hi, we are back. So we have covered this dough with a moist towel and we let that set. So now let's roll out some tortillas. Guavi is holding the camera so that you guys are able to see the counter because we don't have anything fancy here. Okay, so first what I did is I took some of our regular flour, gluten-free flour, sprinkled it on a clean counter.
And make sure the counter is clean because it might have germs on it and then you'll have germs in your tortillas.
Very true. So then we added some tapioca flour. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a quarter of this. And this is really sticky.
No.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more flour to it just so it doesn't stick to everything. Kind of coat the outside of the ball with it.
Mm-hmm.
And what we want to do is we want to make sure we keep this covered up over here so that way it doesn't dry out.
Hey, Mom. Mom. Is this the spatula that used to be white, but you made it with your yellow tea with?
Yeah.
So now it's yellow.
So now I'm going to use this rolling pin. This is the one I like to use. I have a big one, but the small ones are so handy. I highly recommend a small one. It doesn't have to be marble, but...
Yeah. It just has to work.
Yep.
Basically.
So you're going to roll this out. And actually, that's a pretty good right there. I don't even know if you want to cut it.
I don't know.
Now, the trick is seeing if we can get it up. So before I turn it up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the stove on. Because when you're making tortillas, you want to make sure that you put them on a hot stove. You don't want to have the stove warming up as it's sitting there. You want it to kind of sizzle. So I've poured some, we have extra virgin olive oil and avocado oil blend that we're going to use today. You could use anything. I've used avocado oil or even vegetable oil before. So I poured that on my pan over here. And I'm gonna just, if you can see, I have so much stuff in the way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just use a paper towel, and I just wiped, so make sure that I get all the oil spread everywhere. Okay, step 1. Step 2, grab a spatula. Okay.
That's big. It almost doesn't fit on the pan.
I know, I should have let that heat up a little bit more like I told you guys, but I didn't. So, we'll see if that works out.
Gotta do things right in this show.
Yeah. While that's cooking, we're going to roll out another one. So I'm going to put a little bit more flour down. Now we have 2 done. So, I'm going to finish cooking these, and then I will show you guys what this looks like at the end. Okay. We got 1 tortilla done. This is kind of what you want it to look like here. This is a really big one, but we're going to make it for pizza, so I wanted to make it pretty big. And
Oops.
This one I'm going to call done too. I ended up turning up my heat to medium-high, just a notch above. And I had to add quite a bit of oil. But I can tell you this was a much better turn than the last gluten-free tortillas I made. The last ones were a nightmare. Sticking together, and I couldn't get them to even scoop up off the counter. So I highly recommend using this tapioca flour. I think it really helps out.
And it's just, it's kind of like pancakes, except they tear like that.
Yeah,
and
tore, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can just pinch that together a little bit.
They just came off the stove, so they're a little hot, but I'm going to try it. The palm shortener was the key to this. They aren't as floppy as regular tortillas. So, yeah. But they do taste good as, like, if you're acting like they're chips and like salsa. These would be good for that.
What else would they be good for?
Pizza, definitely. Because I like a crispy, like, edge and, like, crispy bun. Because sometimes you just add too much. Well, some people have a problem with too much sauce, and I don't like too much sauce. I like a crispy edge. These ones are thin, and they're, like, crispy, so they work really good for pizza.
What's your favorite pizza topping?
I don't know. I like pepperonis. That's my favorite.
Okay, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
Till next time.